for a brand new initiative that we started working on about 6 months ago here. Now, over the last couple of years, high schools across the country have been getting more and more progressive in their use of technology. And one of the things that a lot of New Jersey schools have started doing is launching their own smartphone apps. Now, obviously, we wanted to do the same. But there's one major issue when it comes to all of these apps, and it's that they're always built by these big for-hire corporations, and they never really understand the ecosystem of a high school. So administration asked me to develop our app personally, using only feedback from Old Bridge students, Old Bridge faculty, and Old Bridge parents. And this is what we built. This is the Old Bridge High School app. It's smart, it's current, and it's full of features that we think you're all going to really enjoy. So what exactly does it do? Well, we started with a feature that we call Status Check. And Status Check is a way to stay on top of exactly what's happening right now. So the first thing you'll notice as soon as you launch this app is it'll tell you what period you're in, as well as how long until the next begins. So if you're coming in late, or you have forgotten what period it is somehow, or you just need to know how long until the next one, you'll see that information just by launching the app. And if you commute to school, you'll see weather information to the side of that. And this weather information will actually be provided by the Old Bridge High School weather station, which is up on our roof right now. Now also in Status Check, we have a full and complete bell schedule for full days, half days, and delayed opening. And you can even put in your lunch period to get customized results specifically for your day. Now our school is very, very big. And we realized that we needed a way to help students and parents get around. Because it can be very intimidating for a new student who's entering our school to find where his classes are. And it can be intimidating likewise for parents who are here for events like parent-teacher conferences. So we built just that. And this is what the map feature looks like. But we realized that it was still kind of difficult to stare at this visual, figure out where a room number is, figure out where you are, and then go to that location. So all you have to do is actually type in the room number, and it will pinpoint specifically on the map where that location is. And the same thing works for locker numbers as well. You can put in the locker number, and it will pinpoint the hallway where that locker is located. Now, one thing we never want to stop doing is stop thinking about our students' safety. And that is why AED locations are constantly visible on the map at all times, so that in the event of an emergency, we're better prepared for that situation. But security is also the reason why the map is actually inaccessible when you first download the app. In fact, when you launch the map for the first time, you're going to be prompted for your last name and your student ID. And this information that you enter must match a record in our database. So that means if anyone was to ever download this app with any intent of wrongdoing, they can't get access to this information. Now let's talk about notifications. Notifications were actually the hardest thing to build for this app. And the reason is because they were so expected. Every high school app around the country has a way to send out blast notifications to every device at once. And we wanted to do that, but we wanted to go above and beyond with notifications. So we built something that we call notification categories. And we started with two very simple categories, student and parent. And because we require you to choose one of those when you enable push notifications, we can actually customize what notifications are sent to what devices. And this is something that, as far as we know, no other high school app offers this, these custom-tailored unique to you notifications. But we realized then that there's a greater need for push notifications elsewhere. It's not just a tool for administration to use, or it shouldn't be. In fact, the greatest need for this tool is for teachers, club advisors, and sports coaches. So on the notification screen, you'll see a list of all the classes, clubs, and sports that you could subscribe to notifications from. And you could toggle each one on or off. And when you do that, you're opting in to receive notifications for that particular category. So here's an example. An after-school activity can send a message only to the members of that after-school activity, telling them that their meeting has been moved. Or a teacher can remind her students about an upcoming project deadline. Or a faculty member that's on a field trip can message only the students with him or her on that field trip to meet up at a certain location. And of course, the traditional sense of one notification to everyone is always available in the case of something like a snow day. These categories we can set up at any time, whether temporary or permanent, and it means that teachers no longer have to rely on things like Twitter or asking students to text one another and hoping that no one is going to be left out, because now they can be sure that every student that has opted into these notifications will receive it. It's instant, it's secure, and it's safe. Now, we'll be piloting this initiative with a couple of organizations. For example, FBLA, who will be using push notifications to alert their members of upcoming fundraisers, meetings, and other events. We'll also be using it for certain things like the senior trip. The senior trip is the largest field trip we go on as a high school. And faculty will be able to send a notification to the hundreds of students across Disney World at one time. And we've never before had that sense of security that we know students are going to get that information. We'll be rolling out support for notifications as time goes on. Now, one of the biggest discussions we had in the school this year was about daily announcements. And many of you know that we no longer have daily announcements in the morning in first period. Instead, we project them in the cafeteria. And this has already been a drastic improvement over last year, because first period teachers have gotten so much time back for their lessons. But there was still something about morning announcements that we missed. So we wanted to keep building on that idea, and we created events. Now, when you go and you subscribe to notifications from these different classes or groups, you're also subscribing to see their events on your phone as well. So for example, if you're subscribed to Computer Science 2, you'll see this event on your events page telling you that there's a guest speaker today. This means that not only do you see these events, but you see a full list of only the activities that are important to you, custom tailored to what you are interested in. And of course, the daily announcements will always be visible in case you want to see everything. So there's one last thing that we wanted to do with events. And we realized that the thing that a lot of people loved about the morning announcements was that they weren't easy to forget. It's possible that you can forget to check the projection screen when you're in the cafeteria. But it's pretty difficult to forget to listen to the morning announcements. So now every single morning at 7 a.m., you will receive a push notification telling you specifically how many events you have going on that day. It's just like the morning announcements. It will notify you every single morning, and you'll be able to be reminded when you have activities going on. And that is notifications and events. Two incredible features for teachers, club advisors, and any faculty member that needs to get in touch with a specific group of students. Now, next we wanted to talk about one specific group of students in particular, and that's new students, or soon-to-be students. The ones that are still sort of intimidated by Old Bridge High School and are not yet acclimated to the environment. And we introduced a suite of features specifically for their use. Like clubs. The clubs page lists every single extracurricular activity that we offer here, all around 80 of them. And each one has details, photos, information to contact the advisor, meeting notes, and more. And this information will be able to be updated by the organizations themselves so that it's always current and up to date. And similarly, we do the same thing with sports. And every sport will have information, including things like scheduling, so you know when their games are and their practices are. And there's a whole host of other features that we have for this group of students in mind as well, like late bus information. We realized that there were some students that were actually scared to stay after school because they didn't know if they would be able to get a ride home. And we're hoping that we can now eliminate that. And we also have information about certain classes like Peer, who has 4 pages detailing their service efforts and their volunteer work. But while we were developing all of this, we had to keep in mind some very special aspects of our school. The things that keep us unified as Knights, and the things that make our student body who we are. I'm talking about Old Bridge High School traditions. And this includes things like the nightly wrap-up, which is always accessible from the weekly events page, and Night Stars, which is a listing of students that have made significant contributions to our school in a variety of different ways. And we even have a listing of students that have made exemplary choices, like ones who have returned lost property. We showcase them in the app. These are various things that make us Knights and are the reasons why our character is so unmatched throughout the rest of the country. And we want to make sure that anyone who downloads this app will immediately see our philosophy. Of course, we wouldn't be building this if we weren't including the latest in mobile technologies, like adaptive caching, which means that the app will actually grow or shrink in size based on how much free storage you have on your device. And cross-platform architecture, which means that we can push out updates in half the time because it's built to work on iOS and Android without any differences in code. As well as various over-the-air capabilities, which means that we can keep the information on your device current down to an hourly basis without requiring you to download an update from the App Store. Whether you're a student, a parent, a faculty member, or any other group of people, we think you're really going to enjoy using this app. Now, in addition to the various features covered today, there's even more for for you to explore on your own. And I'm very excited for you to get your hands on it. And I'm proud to announce that the Old Bridge High School app will be available for download today. And it will be available on both the Apple iTunes Store for iOS 6 and above, and the Google Play Store for Android devices. Faculty and guests, I hope you'll join us next in the library, where you'll be able to have a hands-on experience with the app, and you'll be able to play with it on your own. Students, I'm really excited for you to download it from the App Store, and it will be made available to you later today. So you can jump onto the App Store and get it on your way home or on the Wi-Fi if you're here at the end of the day. And don't forget to tweet #OBHSApp so you can spread the word to your fellow classmates. Now I know that everyone here at Old Bridge High School really wants us to be a pioneer in technology, and they want us to showcase our new innovations. And with the overwhelming support we have from our staff, we can continue doing just that. I am so excited to see your feedback. And with your help, this app is only going to get better. I think we have limitless potential, and I'm ready to hear what you guys have to say about it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today, and enjoy.